We're not gonna play with these anymore. MAGA hats are off. America First hats are on. Burn, baby, burn. And this is a great representation of what's left of MAGA.
This is all going in the trash. I do not support Trump anymore. He's a liar. He's a part of the deep state. I do not support Israel. I will not be supporting him anymore. He's part of the deep state. He's committing genocide as we speak in Israel. And we all need to start waking up.
The whole thing that this tape shows he didn't kill himself is like a joke. But worse than that, it's a joke that we all get. Like, they're not fooling anybody. So I feel like we're at a dangerous point now.
So now by coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just, you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. Because I have integrity.
So this message goes out to Donald Trump and his people. I've been asked before, what would it take for you to not support Donald Trump anymore? I always said, well, it'd take a lot. I've literally made thousands of videos on this app supporting you, sir. So if you're deciding that Epstein is the bridge that you're gonna burn, I got the match, sir. You're telling me there's no list after you told me there was a list. You're telling me that you don't care about these victims. This is a promise you made to the American people, sir. Non-negotiable. You've always been in tune with your supporters. Always. 100% spot on. Not this time, sir.
Voted for Donald Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. I am prepared to die on this hill. If Donald Trump is part of the Epstein list and why he has decided to pretend like doesn't exist anymore, then the war that I've been waging on liberals, I plan to wage on Donald Trump if he cannot explain or make sense of this soon. It's pointing to that he is implicated.
So I voted for Trump, and this Epstein thing is just insane. But I think it's showing us one thing, and that's our country is unified for the first time in a long time. And I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, we all know this administration is guilty. So
Well. The red hats are on fire. Literally. The same people who once chanted, "Lock her up," now want to know why the favorite Drain the Swamp guy is keeping the biggest swamp secrets under wraps. Welcome back to the channel, folks, where reality just keeps getting stranger.
I'm a Trump supporter, and I'm going to tell you this right now. If this is the verdict, there's no Epstein client list, then all of us that have installed Bongino and Kash Patel, the whole Trump administration, period, all they talked about was transparency. If we don't get accountability for the thousands of victims that were abused, who knows what type of crimes we're talking, then I'm jumping ship. And all of you should as well.
Trump said he was going to expose the deep state, but now he's guarding Epstein's secrets like a night watchman at Little St. James Island. And MAGA, they are not having it.
I just woke up. I don't even have my eyelashes on, but I'm gonna call out my own party. Pam Bondi and Kash Patel have been a major disappointment. 2019, the story was completely different when it came to Epstein. They couldn't find the tapes, the cameras were off, all the things. Now they all of a sudden have camera footage from outside of his cell. No one's buying it. So if there's no evidence, no list, etc., then Ghislaine Maxwell, however the fuck you say her name, should be released from prison, correct? But that won't happen. The FBI has everybody by their balls, and nothing is going to come of this now. I had hope. I'll be the first to admit it. I had hope when Pam Bondi said she had the list on her desk and that it was going to be released. But I think everybody is too damn blackmailed right now to be able to do anything.
And I think the only solution is this. We need to burn our MAGA hats. I think that's a solution. That's the only language Trump will understand. He needs to be abandoned at this point. You bombed Iran. You're talking about an amnesty for illegals. And people say, well, maybe he'll do it, maybe he won't. It doesn't. You shouldn't be talking about an amnesty. You said mass deportations. Now you're talking about we're going to let these illegals stay in our country and take our jobs. What was the point of any of it? And then before we can even digest that crap, now he's going to tell us there's no Epstein black book. There's no client list. The message needs to be this. We're done. We don't understand. The radical right is fucking furious. We are done. Forget the midterms. Forget 28. Fuck you. Fuck Vance. The GOP, all of it. We're not getting anything. The corporations got their tax cut. Israel got their bombing campaigns. We're building military bases for them right now. And what do we get?
Let's be honest, MAGA has always prided itself on being the truth seekers, we do our own research crew, but now some of them are finally asking, if Trump really wants to drain the swamp, why is he sitting on Epstein's list like it's the nuclear codes? One guy said, and I quote, I wore that red hat like it was a badge of honor, but if you protect pedophiles, you are no better than the people you promised to take down. And then he lit that thing up like it was July 4th.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you,
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing
the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients.
It's sitting on my desk right now. It's sitting on my desk right now.
For years, Trump ran on exposing Epstein, saying he would release the clients list once elected president. His supporters believed it. It was part of the whole deep state takedown fantasy. But now, his administration suddenly says there are no files. They don't exist. Just like that. No explanation, no release, no accountability. You don't get to play superhero for a couple of years and then suddenly turn into Alfred the Butler when it's time to drop the biggest names.
So Epstein unalived himself, but he was an innocent man with $577 million, 0 clients, and no evidence against him. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for trafficking children with him, even though he had 0 clients. There's no evidence that he trafficked anyone, and there's no evidence against him for anything at all. It was on her desk, and now it doesn't exist. That's what they're expecting us to believe. There's no client list. He didn't blackmail anybody. There were never any victims, and nobody else is getting charged. So they trafficked kids to nobody? They didn't traffic kids to nobody. Then what is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison for? They think that they're like some master level gaslighters. They're just really bad liars. It was on her desk, but now it doesn't exist at all. She got 20 years in prison, but there were no clients and there were no victims.
Let's not forget, Epstein was convicted in 2008 for soliciting a minor. He got a sweetheart deal and then somehow built an even bigger network of high-profile abusers from politicians to billionaires to royalty. He was arrested again in 2019 and then, he died in a Manhattan jail under more coincidences than a Netflix thriller.
This billionaire was secretly running one of the most disturbing illegal operations in modern history. Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier with powerful friends, from politicians to celebrities. But behind the luxury lifestyle, Epstein was running a massive human trafficking ring, targeting underage girls. For years, he used his private island, jets, and mansions to hide his crimes, while staying protected by his elite connections. In 2008, he got a sweetheart deal, serving just 13 months for charges that should have put him away for life. But in 2019, it all came crashing down. Epstein was arrested again, facing federal charges. A month later, he was found dead in his jail cell under suspicious circumstances. Many believe the full truth about his operation and who was involved died with him.
The wild thing about this is that this might be the only thing that finally snaps people out of the Trump trance. Not the impeachment, not January 6th, not the hush money, not the indictment, but Jeffrey freaking Epstein. MAGA voters are saying it out loud now. If you don't release those files, you are part of the cover-up. Some are even going as far as calling him controlled opposition. Ouch. Even Elon Musk jumped into the chaos during one of his petty but iconic fights with Trump on X. He straight up asked, "Why haven't you released the Epstein client list?" And then even hit harder by accusing Trump of being in the files himself. Yeah, he actually said that. And X, aka Twitter, exploded.
MAGA, or at least a huge chunk of them, they're turning on Donald Trump right now, right? You know, some of this, it's stemming from Trump's DOJ saying, hey, the Epstein files, there's no client list, right? Despite what in the past Donald Trump has said, Pam Bondi has said, Kash Patel has said, Dan Bongino has said. Now, in a recent post, Trump said, hey, the Epstein files, they were actually designed by Obama, Hillary, and Biden to attack him. Right? And that, despite Trump ran on releasing the files, and he said that the files were real in February, but then last week his DOJ said that they aren't real. And in fact, now Trump says they're actually a big Democrat conspiracy against him. But again, just talking about the facts, President Trump was famously friends with Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, look at the photos of all of them together. And earlier this year, he had the guy that was one of his biggest allies ever, Elon Musk, saying Trump's on the list. In 2002, Trump told New York Magazine, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side, no doubt about it." With Trump's own biographer saying that in his first term, he considered pardoning Epstein's girlfriend so that she wouldn't speak of who and what she saw. He even said of Ghislaine Maxwell, who he was photographed with and who was found guilty in trafficking and other offenses in connection to Jeffrey Epstein, that he wished her well. She's sentenced to 20 years in prison. And now with this latest post, I mean, if you go into the replies on Truth Social, MAGA is not happy, saying, why are you gaslighting us? But one of the biggest questions is, will that reaction grow, or will Trump be able to snuff it out? Though I will say, going through it, I haven't seen MAGA defect like this on Trump before.
And now the pressure is clearly getting to President Trump. On Truth Social, he basically begged his followers to focus on serious issues and stop talking about Epstein. That's right. The man who built his image on exposing the elites now wants you to just move on. And here is the part that is honestly hilarious. MAGA is imploding over the Epstein files not being released. But let's not forget that they literally elected a man who was just convicted on 34 felony counts and who was also found liable for sexual abuse in civil courts. Yes, you heard that right. They are mad about the predator list, but still cheering for somebody who is already on one.
Trump is mentioned 64 times in the Epstein files. In his many court cases, he has pleaded the fifth 97 times. He has 34 felony conviction criminal charges, 26 sexual assault allegations, 6 bankruptcies, 5 draft deferments, 4 indictments, 2 impeachments, 2 convicted companies, 1 fake university that was shut down, 1 charity that was shut down for fraud, and a $25 million fraud settlement. But yeah, sure, lecture me on how no one else is above the law.
So where does that leave the movement? The base is splintering. The people who once defended everything from Trump's tweets to his criminal charges are now asking, who is he really protecting? Is it celebrities, politicians, billionaires, himself? Or is this whole anti-establishment thing just a costume, like a certain red hat? Look, I'm not here to tell you who you should have voted for, but I'm here to ask a simple question. If Trump won't expose the truth now, when he has everything to gain from it, What makes you think he ever will? Burning your heart might not solve everything, but at least it's a start. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video if you've ever been gaslit by a politician, left, right, or center. And if you want the real files, not just the red hat and red herrings, you know where to find us. So YouTube thinks you will like this video over here. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Au revoir.